How are y'all doing this morning? No, it's been a minute since I've talked to you, and so this word this morning, this message, talks about who is the master of the plan and where is your faith. So the message today stems from my own experiences. I know that sometimes in life we can be in situations where we know that God has given us a vision. We know that God has given us a plan. But yet we have not taken some of those necessary actions to move forward to that plan. So what we need to do is we need to focus and we need to remember what the plan originally was. We need to remember that God has already given us the tools and has already equipped us to be more than conquerors over whatever situation that you're facing or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because there's going to come obstacles that are going to come. There is going to come situations where you are going to wonder, how is this going to happen? Just like the children of Israel. They were there at the Red Sea and they were wondering, okay, God, you said that you were going to get us out of this place, but now we have this big body of water. How the heck are we supposed to get from this place to there? And yet God is a God that is so awesome that he divided the waters. What looks like impossible to you is not impossible to God. It's very possible. Obviously, God is the creator. He can do anything he wants to do. But so my point is that if God gave you a vision, example, i.e., he gave you an example to, not an example, but a vision to have your own restaurant one day. It's not just going to drop in your lap. You're going to have to do the necessary tools that are in your power, which is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to do them, to bring it to pass. And that is your works. Faith, just believing it is not enough. Faith without works is dead. You know, it says that in the Bible. So you've got to do what's necessary to get to that next level. Second example, if God told you that you were going to have a daycare one day, it's not going to happen by not going and getting the necessary certifications or doing the networking that you need to do. There are some people right now that are looking to bring their children to you. So, but when we're not in position, then we're not there to be a blessing to them. So, get to the point. Point is that we have got to remember that whatever plan that is in our hearts, that is according to God's will, in other words, it's not a foolish plan, but it's a plan that will bless other people, we need to put it in action with faith. If God gave you a vision, I'll give you an example. If he gave you a vision that you're going to have a restaurant one day, then it's not just going to fall in your lap. You're going to have to do something. So what that's called is works. So faith without works is dead. If you know that you're going to be a singer one day, or if you know that you're going to be a doctor one day, or a lawyer, or a fireman, or whatever it may be, you've got to do the necessary acts. It's not going to just come to you. So I'm challenging you today to use your faith. You've got to push. And it's not going to come easy. It's not something that's just going to, like I said, drop in your lap. It's not going to come easy. It's going to be something that you're going to have to work at. And, but working of your faith, work in patience. Or the trying of your faith, work in patience. Which means that the more that you work at it, the easier it will become. You'll be patient. And more blessings will come your way when you move forward with the things that you're supposed to do. Now, if you're not in position where you're supposed to go, if you know, I'll go back to the restaurant, if you know that you're supposed to have a seafood restaurant, there's some people in that area, or wherever you are, that is saying, I really wish there was a seafood restaurant around here. But because you haven't stepped out in faith and haven't done it, they don't have it there. There are people that are waiting for you for your destiny. If you're supposed to have a daycare center, there are people that are waiting to bring their children to you. So you just have to get in position. One thing I'm going to tell you when I was saying it's not easy is that there are going to be mountains, which are opinions. There's going to be obstacles. Those obstacles are meant to be there so that you can use your faith to conquer it. God says that we are more than conquerors. Why would he tell us that we were going to be more than conquerors if there was nothing to conquer? But he's already given us the tools and the gifts to do so. He says that he's given us the ability to tread over serpents, to do all kinds of things in the Bible. He's given us authority, and a lot of us are just not taking access to that authority. If there's something that you know that God has told you to do, something that he told you that he wanted to fulfill in your life, then you got to believe. It doesn't look like if it's, how the heck is this going to happen? God said I was going to be a pilot, but I can barely read. I don't know. I'm just making up something. But God, he is a God that does not lie, and he doesn't just come up with stuff and then just make a decision and say, oh, well, you're going to be that. Oh, no. Or you're going to be a famous painter one day. And then he says, oh, I decided I'm not going to do that. God is not a God of confusion. So I hope that you're understanding what I'm saying. You are more than a conqueror. God said that in his word. And why else would he say that you are more than a conqueror unless there would be something that you're going to have to conquer? One of my favorite sayings that I always say is, why else would I need faith unless I was in an impossible situation? So, what is it that you have to move? What is it, that opinion? Have you seen the size of a mustard seed before? God says in his word that all you need is faith of a mustard seed. It's a little, tiny seed. Which means it doesn't take much, but just a little bit of believing. Just believing in order to bring it to pass. Along with, of course, the work of God. It's not all you, but a lot of it is you and your works. So I hope that you're encouraged today. Use your faith with your works and see God move. Other than that, I love you. I hope that you're encouraged. By the way, I'm sitting here listening to one of my songs called Trust in the Lord, one of my favorites on the album. And it talks about Proverbs 3:5-6. The scripture is, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not to your own understanding, but in all of your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Something else that you can apply to what I'm saying. So, love you much. Stay tuned. Have a great day, a great rest of the week, and see you next week.